Imagine you start appearing in people's dreams, and this is happening to people who know you and don't know you. It becomes a worldwide phenomenon, and you become famous for being in people's dreams. But when those dreams soon turn into nightmares, you are forced to face the consequences of something you are not in control of. Dream Scenario is a new, hilariously sad film. The movie correlates with cancel culture and how false allegations can ruin the perception of people. Stay tuned. The story begins with Paul Matthews, an evolutionary biology professor whose life is, by all accounts, remarkably ordinary. He's the kind of man who blends seamlessly into any background. Yet, the first flicker of the bizarre appears through his daughter, Sophie. She recounts a dream where Paul is passively raking leaves by a pool as she floats helplessly toward the sky, calling out to him as Dad. This seemingly innocent dream is merely the prelude to a global phenomenon that will unravel Paul's life. Paul's yearning for recognition, a subtle undercurrent in his mundane existence, soon manifests in the most unexpected way. After a chance encounter with his journalist ex-girlfriend, Claire, she reveals something astonishing. Paul has appeared in her dreams. With his permission, she pens an article about this uncanny experience. What follows is an explosion of bewildered recognition. Hundreds, then thousands of strangers come forward, each recounting dreams featuring Paul Matthews. He becomes an unwitting celebrity, thrust into the media spotlight. But his newfound fame carries a curious frustration. In these collective dreams, Paul is consistently depicted as passive, uninteresting, and utterly unhelpful. His students confirm this, describing calamities and pleas for intervention where Paul simply observes, emotionless. The irony is palpable. The man who craves significance is famous for being insignificant in the subconscious. As the bizarre phenomenon intensifies, Paul's home life begins to feel the strain. His wife, Janet, perplexed by his absence from her dreams, fantasizes about a heroic Paul, rescuing her in a whimsical, oversized suit. But the lightness is quickly shattered. A mentally ill man, driven by the dream Paul, violently breaks into their home. The incident is a chilling wake-up call, exposing the tangible dangers lurking beneath this surreal fame. In a desperate attempt to capitalize on his notoriety, Paul approaches a PR firm, hoping for a lucrative book deal. Instead, they try to push him into selling Sprite on social media. The humiliation deepens when a young assistant, Molly, describes her erotic dreams about him. Paul attempts to reenact them, only to suffer a mortifying premature ejaculation, leaving him utterly mortified. The tide turns swiftly and savagely. Paul discovers a former colleague has published a high-profile paper on the exact subject he'd been hoping to write his own book about. This fresh blow to his intellectual aspirations seems to trigger a terrifying shift in the collective unconscious. Paul's dream persona transforms from passive observer to active, sadistic tormentor. The once benign dream figure now commits acts of violence, becoming a universal nightmare. The real-world consequences are immediate and brutal. His university places him on leave as students refuse to attend his classes. Public encounters turn hostile, culminating in a violent brawl in a diner. Even Janet's career is affected, leading her to demand a public apology. But a furious Paul refuses, blind to the true extent of his public downfall. The psychological torment escalates. Paul experiences a terrifying nightmare where a sinister version of himself hunts him down with a crossbow. Shattered, he finally relents, releasing a self-pitying apology video that only further fuels public disdain. Humiliated and at her breaking point, Janet throws him out of the house. In a desperate attempt to reconnect with his daughters, Paul forces his way into their school play, only to accidentally injure a teacher in the ensuing chaos. This final, public blunder solidifies his image as a truly despicable figure. The man who once yearned for recognition now finds himself universally vilified, an outcast haunted by the very dreams he inhabits. Time passes, and the strange dream phenomenon finally subsides. The world has moved on, but not without consequence. Paul's bizarre experience has led to a profound discovery. A shared subconscious, now a new frontier for commercial exploitation. Dreams, once sacred, are now advertising space, manipulated by emerging technology. Janet, unable to reconcile with Paul, has moved on, finding solace with a new partner. Paul, in a poignant and perhaps pathetic turn, travels to France for a book tour to promote his own account of the ordeal. But even here, humiliation finds him. His book, originally Dream Scenario, has been retitled Je suis ton cauchemar, I Am Your Nightmare, without his consent. It's a pitifully thin volume, and his signing event is relegated to a dingy basement. Yet, a line of fans, drawn by morbid curiosity, still waits for his signature. In the film's poignant final moments, Paul uses a cutting-edge dream travel technology, hoping to enter one of Janet's dreams. His aim? To play the hero she once longed for, appearing in the oversized David Byrne suit, ready to rescue her. As he floats away, mirroring his daughter Sophie's dream from the very beginning, he utters a haunting wish.
I wish this was real.
It's a final, desperate plea for a different life, a different legacy, in a world where his dreams became everyone else's nightmare. If this breakdown sparked your curiosity, make sure to like this video and subscribe to StorySpark for more movie recaps. We'll see you in the next one.